think for me, what's really worked is dedication. And always, I have had lots of coaches in the past, and previously not got on with them particularly well. Never felt like I had a voice or an opinion that I could, for me, it's my training and I do it 24/7. So my coach now, we work great as a team, and I just feel comfortable. I feel like I've learned so much since moving to Loughborough, which is a couple of years ago now. And I feel like I've developed more social skills, javelin skills, and just, it's about confidence as well for me. But yeah, like obviously I've moved all over the country for this sport. I lived in Grimsby, moved to Wales, now live in Loughborough. I'm currently living on my own, which is kind of sad. My boyfriend's in Swansea. So yeah, and I just think just daily, sometimes just tiny, it could be daily, could be weekly, it could be monthly, just tiny little goals. So for me, of course, I always have big goals like Tokyo and winning gold medals and world championships and stuff. But I think generally day to day to keep me just, I don't know, on track, or just feel like I've actually achieved something, but it could be really small. That could be like today, put your makeup on, feel like yourself, be organized, you've got your Zoom calls, get them done, and then get the house cleaned. I just feel like that for me is an achievement, because you've got up, you've been organized. I've got my 2021 diary, slightly a few days late, but there we are. And I just felt like, right, be organized and get sorted. And generally that helps me like day-to-day life and also athletics life. So I just think there's a lot to do it, but a lot of it is mentality for me, like to be able to train for that long and that hard. And obviously, we're so lucky right now that we are privileged to be able to train at the facilities in Loughborough. I am so thankful for that. I can't go with another lockdown, not being able to train and do my job. So it's a mixture of things, but I definitely would say like mental state as well is probably one of the most like key things. Everyone has ups and downs, no one's perfect, no one's happy all the time, and it's okay to accept that we have bad days in life, bad days in sport. Training doesn't go well all the time. As long as it goes well in competition, it's great. But yeah, so a multiple of things, I would say.
Fantastic. I love your point about almost congratulating yourself for the wins and the little things. I
think that's important. Yeah. It is important, because I think we, as a nation, I am so hard on myself. Like, even just like to taking a picture or a sport, and I look at myself and go, oh, that's horrible. I don't like myself. I don't like this. And I just think, do you know what? We don't need to be like that. The world is the way the world is. So I just think that for you and yourself, if you set your own goals, because they're your goals, and you make them so they're achievable. You make them, you haven't put it ridiculously out of reach that you may or may not ever do. Like, sounds silly, but grow an arm back, never going to happen, can't do it. That's to extremes. But silly things like that, I just think that you become a better person, and you trust yourself more, and you're happy every day. And I've certainly learned that over the last few years living in Loughborough and changing to my comfort zone. And it's been very different for me being here. Very strange. My family lived 2.5 hours away, 2 hours away in Grimsby. Boyfriend lives like 4.5 hours away. So I'm very secluded where I am, but I found that because I have my own house, I found that my day-to-day little things become now, this year for me, is reading. I am not a big reader, and I've always wanted to be a big reader, but I'm not. But you know what, in the last few weeks, it's the only thing that like makes me tired before bed. So I'm like, I'm going to read, and I feel like it drags you away from your day work. It drags me away from athletics and normal life and Zoom calls, anything. It's just that little chill time, that you time that you really need. So my little goal is like that, reading a book. And when you finished a book, read another book. And that's kind of, and I've already read a book, which I'm really happy about. I was like, I finished a book. And now I'm reading another book, and that's by Ruth Jones. So yeah, just little tiny day-to-day things. I think that's the best thing for somebody to set for yourself.
Amazing. Like those small goals, definitely fantastic.